So it's 3 in the morning and I'm awake again. I've got a nice bed, nice sheets, room is dark and quiet. It's exactly how I like it. And I've been staring at the ceiling every hour on the hour all night long. Not because of the noise and not because of coffee. It's because I said yes to something I already knew I shouldn't have said yes to. I should have said no to. And then there's this crazy rumble deep down in my spirit and it won't go away. I thought saying yes would feel like me helping somebody, right? Feel like me being extremely useful, being the guy who comes through for everybody. But it didn't feel like that. It felt like this heavy rock sitting on my chest that I couldn't lift off. Now, maybe you know what that bed feels like. See, you're tired, like super tired. You can't sleep. And it's not because your body's wired, it's because your spirit is unsettled. You said yes to keep everybody happy. And now the yes is the thing that keeps you awake. I want to show you why that happens, and I want to show you how you can stop it. Because the reality is it can stop. Every yes you give is a loop. You open it the second you say, I got you. You close it when you actually come through and finish it. And an open loop won't let you sleep. Sorry. Mark my words. The open loop is the issue. That's the thing that's waking you up at 3 a.m. Not the person, not the project. It's the loop you left open. Okay, so here's the question. The whole thing turns on this, and don't let it float by, all right? I need you to answer it honestly. How many loops did you leave open today just to keep somebody happy? Because the people pleasing fooled me for years. It doesn't show up looking like weakness. It shows up looking like talent. I can do a lot of things, to be honest. I can write, I can build software, the systems for it, the automations, the workflow. I can even coach somebody through things. On the flip side, I can encourage somebody through things. I can take crazy little, all kinds of tangled up messes and make it super simple. So when a request comes in, everything in me lights up and it says, yeah, I can help. I know how to do that. I got you. Let me take care of that. And let me take care of that, right? But that's exactly where the trap hides, because there's a lie that's sitting underneath the underbelly of the yes. The lie says, I have to be in this one. My mind needs to be involved, my eye for it, the way I connect the dots. That's what makes it work. That's the lie, right? The lie says, if I'm not in it, the whole thing falls apart. That's the lie. And that's also far from humility. Very far. That's not even kindness at this point. That's the lie that I'm the reason. And you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So, you can't carry this thing and you need to accept it, right? It doesn't have to be with you. The project, the people, all those things you just have to remove yourself from. Now, if you hand it off, it'll be so much better, okay? You're holding a thing that you can't finish and you can't put down, therefore it creates this tension. But watch. Not only does it stay at work, but it also comes at home too, right? You hold yourself to eat something and you promise yourself that you're gonna eat something better, but then you don't, right? The very practice of making that type of decision messes with you in both professionally and at home, right? Whether it's a client's project or your kitchen, that same exact thing underneath that you can't say no is ruining everything, okay? Because it keeps the loop open. Now, when you're lying there at 3 in the morning, you don't know what to call it, right? Because you've been focused on being so generous to everybody. It's a stack of open loops that need to be closed. And you're paying the price every time you keep that loop open. So here's what I found, right? When you run out of capacity or bandwidth, when you can't perform, there's one thing left that holds you up, that keeps you going to try to get things completed, right? It's the attention and the satisfaction of getting approval and applause from those people that you're trying to do it for, right? However, what keeps you going throughout all of that deception is the fact that you want to be known. Now, this is the most important factor that you need to be aware of, is you were known by God way before you had to perform a skill. He knew you in your mother's womb. You were already loved, right? That love never once needed you to perform at all. And that's the thing that you need to embrace. Not the fact that you want to create all these yeses and people liking you because of what you did. No. You want to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, right? Think about it, just like Saul, right? God handed him everything. He gave him the crown, the calling, a whole nation, and he threw it away for the weakest reason there is. He said, out of his own mouth, check this out, he said, I feared the people and I obeyed their voice. He performed for the entire crowd instead of obeying God and who God called him to be, who God known him to be, right? It cost Saul the entire kingdom. And then generations later, Paul says it clean. If I were still trying to please man, Paul says, I would not be a servant of Christ. You are serving somebody every single day. Either you're serving the approval of man, of people, and that locks you in to this cage of yes and being that yes man that you can never keep. Or you serve Jesus. And when you do serve God, there's one idea that changes everything you need so that you can embrace it, right? A failure stops being a failure because the lie never lives long enough to manifest itself. So you need to stop considering the fact that approval of man will satisfy you, because that's going to continue that open loop. You want to delineate in your mind that man and their approval is finicky. It's volatile. It goes up and down. So if you are tying yourself to that, then your worth and value is going to go up and down. And you don't want that. What you want to do is live your life based on who God called you to be, who God knows you to be. And then it doesn't matter what you do, because the chance you're going to fail. We're all going to fail, right? But your worth and your, right, the feeling that you have for yourself is not going to go up and down depending on your work. No, it's going to stay steady because you know who you are, right? You didn't earn who God knows you to be, right? It was true before you did anything, before you learned anything, before you even made any effort. God knew you then, knows you now, and you're no different to him, because what holds you up is that love that's unconditional. Now ask yourself, whose approval are you losing sleep over, right? Here's how you can sleep in peace, is you close that loop. When you recognize that God loves you, and the reality is there's other people that love you no matter what. So you don't have to please anyone. You don't have to perform. You don't even have to put the pressure on yourself to want to desire to please, because we all want to do a good job. Sure, of course. And you're going to, when you just do the work. And then part of the completion of that work includes closing the loop. Therefore, what loop do you need to close, and for whom? It could be for yourself too. Got it? People pleasing is a fib. It's a man-made, manufactured, fabricated idea that's created by the fallen sinful nature. And we just need to shake ourselves from it. Recognize that God knows who we are and how we move, and yet he still loves us. If this hit home, in the comments, I want you to tell me, what loop do you need to close? And then close it. Now, technically speaking, best way to close the loop is to get those things taken care of. But if you need to make it worth it for you, make it valuable for you, then you close the loop by accepting the love of God and who he made you to be. This is Faleulu Ropati, Rob Pene. Subscribe and come back. Same guy, two names.